Thank you very, very much. I'm indeed honored and joyful to be with you today here in Douglas. On the 10th, I share with Dr. Hall, really surprised that this is the 10th year that we've done this, and we do it because the future is you. And the future is going to be determined by how you deal with the opportunities that are yours to enjoy, that many of your predecessors, students before you, I don't want this to get away here. If it goes, I don't want to go with it. Let me just say a couple of things. Thank you so much for being here. I want to thank our distinguished mayor, who has taken the helm of our city and has shown vision and courage, and we are thankful for his presence here today. Give the mayor a hand. And thank our superintendent. I want Superintendent Hall to know that we are keen and enthusiastic supporters of her labors, her vision, and her stewardship as head of our public schools in Atlanta. I want to thank the board members who are here. This is an exciting board. Nothing dull about this board. This board is a good board. Even if they weren't, I wouldn't say it. But they are an exciting board, and they've made this opportunity to enrich the lives of our young people challenging to all of us. Thank all of you. Let me just say a couple of things, and we'll get on with the program and look forward to Judge Hatchett, who has discovered a fountain of youth somewhere. She looks about as young and pretty as she did when I met her 25, 30 years ago. The only person I know who challenges her in the realm of beauty is my wife. Yeah. Let me just say a couple of things. One is, you young people, you are the brightest and most promising generation yet in our experience. You are. And if you don't make the contribution to the quality of life for all of us that we expect from you, it'll be your fault, because it's in your hands. There's a story in the Bible, you look at the Old Testament, a king called Ahab of Samaria was being challenged by the king of a neighboring province named Ben-Hadad. Ben-Hadad had a modern army, highest level of technology of that day. And Ahab he really was a sorry king. And he had a sorry wife. Hello? Which may have been why he was a sorry king. Well, the women always take credit for what men do, but you seldom want to take credit for what we don't do. So I'm not going to let you get by. Because Ahab was sorry, he had a sorry wife. I'll let you look it up. But anyway, Ben-Hadad Benadad sent word that he was going to take over Samaria. And he was going to take all the jewels, and gold, and riches, and money, and cattle, and animals. And then he decided to take wives, children. And Ahab just stood there, chicken that he was, and made little preparation to defend his people. Well, God wasn't satisfied with that, and God decided he was not going to sit by and watch Benadad take advantage of the people of Samaria. So he sent a prophet to Ahab and said, you cannot let your people perish. Here's a plan. Carry out this plan, and you'll be able to save your people. I want you to look it up. I'm not going to tell you what chapter, nor what verse. Look it up. You can find it in the Bible. Anyway, the old Ahab was happy because he wouldn't have to give up his prized possessions. And he called a little celebration and called his lieutenants and said, we're going to carry out the plan that God has given us. And then suddenly, something dawned on him. And he called his servants and said, go catch the prophet. Quickly, bring him back. I want to ask him an important question. They brought him back, and he said, it's a good plan that the Lord has given us through you, but I have one question. Who is going to lead the charge? Who's going to take responsibility for fulfilling the goals and implementing the plans set forth in this plan? And the prophet looked and said, Brother Ahab, it's you. You must take charge. You must lead the charge. You must implement the plan. You must work the plan and plan the work. You must take charge of the future. Well, the rest of it is very interesting, and I'll let you look it out. But I want to leave that part with you. The future, the opportunities, not just for Atlanta, but for the world, rest in your hand, in your wisdom, in your energy, in your gifts, in your wisdom, in your energy, in your determination to fulfill the charge that God has given you. And so that's why the Board of Education, and I'm so grateful, initiated this series around civic engagement, because if you don't engage in the opportunities for civic improvement, it won't happen. The community will suffer. And so I thank you for your interest and your enthusiasm, and charge you to take charge of your future. No better promise has been made in any generation than been made to you. It doesn't make any difference how tall you are, what color you are, how fat or skinny you are, how good looking or ugly you are. And I don't see any ugly people in here. But God has given you an opportunity that no other generation. It's your thing. Let me take my seat by saying this, that not long after the election, when that fellow named Obama was elected president, I got a telephone call one day on my cell phone. And it was a message from the president-elect. And he asked me to call him back on his BlackBerry. Don't ask me the number because he doesn't have it anymore. Secret Service took it, so it wouldn't help you to get the number anyway. But anyway, I called him, and he answered the phone. And I said, I want to speak to the fellow who's going to be the 44th president of the United States. And he said, I believe that'll be me, Brother Lowery. Speak. And I said, I'm returning your call, Mr. President-elect. He said, yes, I called. I called to ask you if you would give the benediction or the invocation at the inauguration, January 20. I said, well, let me check my calendar. And then before, I thought he might take me seriously. I said, yes, sir, Mr. President, I can do it. I've checked my calendar and I'm available. And I did. Toward the end of that prayer, one of the lines that I included was, in the joy of a new beginning. For I saw that inauguration, that election, this moment, as a new beginning for America, indeed for the world. And I want to say to you that we have a responsibility to be as excited about this new beginning, at least as the people in other parts of the world are. And we must not be discouraged, because there are people who are resistant and resentful of what has happened at that election. I'm sorry that they're resistant. I'm sorry they're resentful, but they're missing an opportunity to share in the joy of this new beginning. Looks like human beings, we've adopted the habit of expecting a new beginning. No matter it was our birthday, Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever it is, Happy New Year, Happy Thanksgiving. We're expecting better things. We're expecting bigger things. We're expecting to improve the quality of life at every opportunity of a new beginning. So I thank you for coming out here today and participating in this new beginning in regard to the Lowery Lecture Series, but more important, a new beginning in terms of what's happened in America. What America did at that election was a new beginning. And as I stood on the steeps of the Capitol, they told me, said, when you stand up there to give the benediction, you'll be able to see the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument. Well, I tried. I did see it, but these old eyes, they're tired. They've been carrying out my wishes for 89 years Wednesday, and they were tired, but I saw them anyway. I not only saw the Lincoln Memorial, I heard a voice raised on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial 46 years before I stood on the Capitol steepway. And I heard that voice from a young preacher from Atlanta calling this nation to climb up out of the basement of race and color to the higher ground of the content of character. And there I was. None of us believed when we fought to get the Voting Rights Act that we've lived long enough to see a black president. I didn't believe it. I don't know anybody who thought they'd lived long enough, but I did. And while Martin's voice sounded and resounded across those millions of people on that mall, I witnessed my nation responding to the summons that Martin sent to move from color to character.